Alright guys, I am done with all of my rows. I have gotten to row 27. So now what we're going to do is move to row 28. So let's go ahead and read what our pattern says for that row. So let's get to that row here. So if you're looking at row 28, it's a very simple row. It's telling you to chain 1 and single crochet each stitch around. And then you're going to join with a slip stitch in each, or in the first single crochet, and then we're going to fasten off. So again, those are very simple instructions. All you're going to do is we're going to join up into the very first stitch, that chain 3. Okay, join in that chain 3, and then you'll chain 1, and then you're just going to do a single crochet in that same stitch, and then you will single crochet around. So again, you will be maintaining your stitch count of 44, and you're just going to go around and simply single crochet. So 1 in every stitch. So then once you do that, you'll join up and you'll fasten off, and then you'll weave in your ends, and with whatever yarn or color you choose to do the edging, which here in the pattern it calls for the Red Heart Super Saver White, then that will be your color B that we talked about in the pattern. That will be the color that we will start our edging round 1 with. Okay, so just go all the way around with that single crochet round, and I'll meet you back. Alright guys, we're back. So now we finished off on this end with our single crochet round, and we wove in those ends. So now, this of course is the bottom, this is the top. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working the edging up here at the top. So what you're going to be doing at this point is, let's read your pattern real quick and then I'll explain. So your edging is going to consist of, you're going to be working round 1, which is working the right side of top edge facing and working across opposite sides of your foundation chain. With B, you slip stitch in any chain. Okay, let's go over that first. So I'll back up. Now what that means is this is your right side. You can pick any chain. Now there really are no real chains. I guess I need to clarify that. There's no real chains here. If you look, you have only 1 loop stitches here. Okay, because this was your beginning foundation chain. You're only going to have just 1 loop here, and that's what it's meaning by working across the top edge and working the opposite side of the foundation chain. So you're only going to have 1 loop all the way across here that you're going to be working into. Okay, so that's working the opposite side of the foundation chain itself. So all the way across here you're going to be working in 1 loop only. Okay, so what you're going to do, what it's telling us to do, is you're going to be working, you're going to join B with a slip stitch in any one of those chains or loops, and you're going to chain 3. Then you're going to do 2 double crochet in that same chain. Then you're going to skip the next 2 chains, and then we'll slip stitch in the next chain. Okay, so let's do that. So you'll start anywhere. So wherever you want to start, just pick one. So put your slip knot on your hook. So what you'll do is you'll slip through and through. and this is going to be your beginning. Okay, so you'll chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and working over this tail here, you're also going to do 2 double crochet into that same loop that you're in. So let's do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Okay, so then what you're going to do is skip the next 2, so don't lose one. Sometimes they get stuck behind each other, so make sure that you're looking before you go across, because you may lose one. So skip 2, 1, 2, and then the next thing you want to do is slip stitch in the next. So 1, 2, and then you're going to slip into that next stitch. Okay? And then I'm going to put this up here now, show you what it says to do next. So once you've done that, you have your asterisk. This is the part you're going to repeat all the way across this row. You're going to do 3 double crochet in the next chain, skip 2 chains, and then slip stitch in the next, and that's all you're going to do. You're going to repeat that around, which is basically the same thing we just did. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to do 3 double crochet in the next chain. So yarn over and do your 3 double crochet here in this next one. So 1, 2, and 3. So there's your 3 doubles. Skip your next 2 and slip stitch into the next. Okay, and that's what you're making. They're sort of like scalloped edges or little shells. So you'll turn your piece as you go, and then the asterisk in that pattern is telling you simply to repeat that. Alright, so in the next stitch you're going to repeat the pattern in the asterisk. So you're going to do your 3 double crochet in the next stitch. So that's 2, 3, skip 2, and slip stitch into that next stitch. Alright, 3 double crochet in the next, skip 2, and then slip stitch into the next. And then that's what it wants you to do all the way across. That's simple. That's all that those asterisks are telling you to do. So do not overwork that in your mind. All it's telling you is repeat for that row only, okay? So again, in the next loop you'll do 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, skip the next 2 loops and slip stitch in that next loop. Okay, so do this all the way around your row, and I'll meet you up at the last little shell here, and we will move on, and I will catch up with you at the end of this row. Okay guys, I have gone all the way around now, so what you'll have to do is you will join with a slip stitch in the beginning chain, which here is your chain, or your, not your chain, but your chain 3. You want to join in the top with a slip stitch. You'll finish that off with enough yarn there to weave that in and make that secure. Okay, so you will start weaving this back and forth. You don't want this to come out, so just make sure to leave yourself a good amount to weave in and out. And a lot of times I hear complaints. My followers come to me and ask, Stitchinstacy, what can I do to have my ends to stay in better? And really the best thing that I can say is instead of weaving along your ends, and sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, depends on the colors, because you want your colors of your ends to mesh. You don't want your colors to stand out, is to weave down this way instead of just across. And sometimes, you know, I find that that helps as far as your ends staying hidden. So just a little bit of a hint there for you. And sometimes there's just not a big old fix for keeping those ends hidden. And that's one thing that I really am not fond of, is ends. But anyway. Okay, so once that's done, that's your finishing project. And it's a little long to get totally in the video, but you see what it is here. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for a second. And the next part of our video is the last part of the edging is going to be, you're going to chain, with A, you're going to chain 91, and then you're going to do row 1, which is work 2 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and in the next 9 chains you're going to let's reword that. You're going to work 2 single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in the next 9 chains as well. Then you're going to single crochet in the next 70, and then 2 single crochet in the last 10. So you'll have 110 single crochet in total, and you'll fasten off. Okay, so what that is, that's going to be the tie for our leg warmer at the top. So I went ahead and I chained my 91, and you can do it in any color that you want. And if you need to stop the video to do it, that's fine, go ahead. So basically what it's telling you to do is chain 91, and then you're going to work 2 single crochet in the second from the hook. So there's 1, and then there's 2. Okay, and then in the next 9 you're going to do the same thing. So here's so basically you're going to have 18 stitches altogether over the next 9. So there's 2 in the next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, what that does is that it's going to give that end piece of that tie a little bit of a twist. And now what you're going to do is single crochet in the next 70, and then you're going to do 2 single crochet in the last 10, which is basically what you did here. Okay, so I'm going to do this across, and I will meet you back up for the weaving of this through our top part of our boot warmer. Okay guys, the very last thing now you're going to do once you have your end strand done here is you're going to be weaving in and out of these chain spaces here. So once you have all this completed, you're going to just pick a space and you're just going to go right into that space. So the objective here is you want to start and stop at the same space here, and you want your pieces to be even. So you're just going to pick a space and you're just going to go in, and you're going to come out the other space. You're going to go in and out. So you're just going to weave back and forth. Okay, so you go in one and out one. and I'm sure we all know how to weave. So it's just, you're just going to pull it along with you, and then you're just going to go behind here and pull it out the other side and pull it along with you. That way you're not damaging your work as you go. Okay, so you see what I'm doing? So we're just going to go in and out and in and out here. Alright, so now once you've done that, you see where you're at. So this is going to end up being the front of your warmer. Okay, so they ended up in the same space. So, and that's what you want. You want these to be even. So now what you can do is now tighten those. See how I'm doing that? And then you can tie those in a knot. You can tie those in a bow. And you have your leg warmer. So basically that's all there is to the weaving. It's very simple. If you wanted to do your strand here in white or a contrasting color, you can do that as well. But you want to make sure that your strands are going to be even and that you went in and out of every one of those chain spaces. Okay? So that's pretty much all that there is to this boot warmer, and it is absolutely stunning. And I will actually be keeping this set for me, so I have to get busy making the other one. So keep in mind you do have to make two identical leg warmers. So again, you can do these in any color, but I actually chose to stay with the white, and the reason I did the gray is I love gray. Half of my wardrobe is actually gray. But anyway, these turned out really, really beautiful, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. So again, just work the other one, and of course these strands here you'll want to, I always double tie these here. I tie those in so that that doesn't unravel, and then you'll want to weave those in so those don't stick out. Okay? Until next video guys, happy hooking.